Hello everyone and welcome to something brand totally new here in Zoo Tycoon. I feel like we've spent a lot of time in Sparrow Forest Zoo. We did a bit in my very first series of this game. We did a very first Zoo Tycoon 2 series in the original Sparrow Forest Zoo, and then I've been remaking it, and I thought, you know, we spent a lot of time here. We've done a lot of refurbishment. We've made a good start on the refurbishment of the brand new zoo. But I think it's time to try something a bit different, you know? And I've been on a real marine kick recently. Since I've been playing a bit of Subnautica, I've been thinking about getting back into Megaquarium soon. And it's summer. Summer is the perfect time to be thinking about the ocean. That we can see over there. The not very beautifully rendered ocean. But it's right over there and we can hear it. We can hear all the seagulls. So, inspired by the Blue Hope Reef series by Mandy, I will link to her series in the description. I decided I'm going to do my own marine rescue. I'm going to base it in a specific area. We're going to pick an area and we're going to say animals rescued from that reef are rehabilitated here and potentially released into the wild, and those that can't be, we will keep here at the zoo. So welcome to the Reef Rescue Challenge. I have made a list of all the animals. We have decided to set this on the coast of Mexico, so we're in the Gulf of Mexico. A lot of the animals are coming from there in the surrounding ocean. I've made a list of all the animals that I have from there, and basically I'm going to use a random number generator to select which animals are going to be rescued from the reef, and they will be taken to our rescue center, which I'll just show you in a minute. Nursed back to health, and then we will make purpose-built enclosures for some of them, and for others we will release into the wild. So this is just a little entrance area. It's going to be like a marina park as well. We need to make money somehow. And there won't just be marine animals, there will be animals from all over Mexico, animals from around the coast of Mexico and the jungles as well. I can already hear some splashing over there. This is how we get into the rescue. We have to walk through the zoo shop first, so people can come here, and I need to do a bit of modifications in here. The ceiling is way too low. Yes, this is the gift shop, so people can come here and buy some various little things. They can buy these aquarium thingies. I think these are like sea monkeys or something. You can buy like a box of sea monkeys, you can buy these little crabs, these little starfish, some hats, we've got some stuffed animals in here as well, some shirts, we've got all sorts of people can come in and buy those as memorabilia of our park. And I will put in a bit more plants. I just don't have very many unlocked because we are back in challenge mode. We are going to be using challenge mode challenges as well. So I do need to wait until I unlock things. Hello? I can take a photo containing 2 animals. I'll show you in a minute. So we have some inner door tanks here, so we can come in. We will have the animals that we rescue inside one of these tanks to be rehabilitated and looked after and everything. We have a zookeeper somewhere in here who will be able to look after them for us. We'll make this into a little reception area at some point where you can come in and pick up your keys, and you can come back here and get all your tools and stuff. We need to work on that. So we'll just go out through the front here into our tank, and here we have hello, we have Snap, Crackle and Pop. We have 3 manta rays that we rescued from the reef. I'm not sure what would happen to 3 manta rays that would make us feel like we need to rescue them. There seem to be other fish in this tank, but that's absolutely fine. Oh, I didn't mean to swim with you, sorry Pop. They are named after the Rice Krispie elves. I just thought there's 3 of them. Might as well. I believe they were actually rescued as part of the Raisin Skates Association, something like that. I'm not 100% sure what the name of the association was, but it was a very there's our marine rehabilitator. She doesn't have a name yet, but I'm sure we'll be able to give her one. That was the very first challenge I got, and I just completed it straight away, because I thought manta rays are from that area. I don't have to use my random number generator to decide that. We know they're here. We know they're here. So this is the whole park as it is. It's one of the larger maps, so I'm hoping to build some pretty big tanks. So we're going to need to build a purpose manta ray tank, because this isn't anywhere near deep enough for them. We need to build a tank where they'll be happy and thriving and just all around enjoying themselves in their new home. So, I'm going to spend a lot of time paused, which is a first for me. Usually I just leave the game running while I do things. But I'm going to leave it paused because I want to make sure time doesn't pass too quickly to prevent, like, crazy breeding, crazy overpopulation happening, as seems to happen quite a lot when I play these games. So, I think what I'll do is I'll do the manta ray tank today, because I'll also need to build guest areas. I'll need to build like a restaurant or cafe somewhere. And I'll probably do that quite near the entrance as well. Not too close. Not too close, because that's what I did in Sparrow Forest, and I did get a lot of guest traffic, like, clogging up this area. And I'd rather have my guest traffic near, like, animals. Not, So, let's have a look. What I usually do is look at the kind of tanks that other zoos in real life have made for things. I don't know if many zoos even keep manta rays. I'm sure some of the larger aquariums, like the ones in Japan, do. But maybe not, maybe not little ones. And something I really wanted to do was build a giant tank, because I want to be able to have whale sharks and ocean sunfish at some point. And they will definitely need a huge tank. So I was thinking, like, a huge central tank with all kinds of viewing areas. So, some underwater areas, some overhead areas, just some straight up walking past it areas. I've been thinking maybe it could be like a long building walk. I don't know how to explain it. Like a long tank, and then some of the areas, are like elevated paths, you can walk next to it. Other ones are out in the open. Some ones are enclosed. Let me just, you know what? Let me just build it. Let's just make it. Let's just make this tank. So I'm gonna use the trick where actually it isn't a completely enclosed tank. Some of it is like, the tank isn't like fully enclosed. You have a cliff, and then it's all actually just like the normal water terrain brush, because that means the water inside the tank can have slopes and curves in it, which they can't have when it is just a tank. And I will replace this with a different kind of... I'm wondering if I should actually just have it in the far edge. I don't know. I'm not entirely... Manta rays maybe weren't the best start. Maybe I should rescue... You know what, let's use the randomizer. Let's use the randomizer and see what else we can have. These guys have only just been rescued anyway, so we do need to leave them be. So let me pull up my random number generator. We're going to generate a number between 1 and 27. And when I get that number, I will tell you what that number is. That number is 8, which translates to the sawfish. So if I go into here, that is actually a critically endangered animal, so that's pretty awesome that we got that straight off the bat. And I just have to make sure I find it. There we go, there's a sawfish. So you can see that is a critically endangered animal. I believe they are actually... I'm not sure what kind of waters they're from. I'm pretty sure they're tropical reef as well. So let's put you... Let's make this tank nice and ready for you. Let's put the... Okay, that is the right biome. Okay. So they need fish. Shellfish and shrimp. So I'm gonna give them some shrimp. And I don't really need any... I don't need to put anything in these tanks like that. So the way it works is when I generate that random number, I just get 1. I don't get any more than 1. I literally just get the 1. So perhaps the reason that we're rescuing these is because they're so critically endangered, we want to establish a breeding program. So maybe we didn't necessarily rescue this. We just obtained it as part of the World Endangered Species Survival Plan for this species. Or maybe it was like bycatch or something. I don't know. What are the major threats to a sawfish? Let's find out. My very professional, not doing much research and going on Google while I'm recording. So let's see. Relationship with humans of the sawfish. Well, they need very large tanks. They function as ambassadors. They're quite robust. They grow quite faster. They grow faster in captivity, but they are not difficult. They are quite difficult to breed, so that's important. That's quite important of us. For us to do that, we need to make sure we have the right kind of environment that they are able to breed. So they are hunted on purpose, so that's probably why they're so endangered. They do have their habitat being destroyed. That's So potentially this is a sawfish that has accidentally been caught by people who are fishing for tourism, and they caught it by mistake. They didn't mean to, so they cut the fish close to the hook. It's been taken to here. It's taken here to be looked after, since it still has a hook in its mouth, and we need to remove it, and we need to take care of it, and we need to make sure it recovers. And then we're going to see if we can breed it. I know usually they would release it back into the wild, and I would condone that releasing it into the wild would be the best possible option. But maybe this is a situation where maybe the saw on their mouth is slightly damaged, or they had an injury that meant that they can't be released into the wild, but they're still perfectly able to reproduce. So we'll keep them as we'll get a female, we'll keep them as a reproducing animal in case we do manage to get hold of a male in the future. So let's see. We'll need to think of a name for her. I'll let you guys think of a name, and if no one comes up with a name for her, I will come up with one myself. But yeah, so she can stay in that tank, and then we will make a nice sawfish tank. So they're saying that I need to have reasonably big tanks for them. So I'm just wondering how to lay all this out. This is the thing that I struggle with, is knowing how to lay things out. Because I feel like they would be good in an indoor area, so maybe I should make some part of this zoo like an indoor aquarium. I think that makes sense. Okay, so they are like a bottom dwelling fish, so I don't know if I want to keep them in anything too deep. Like anything too ridiculously deep. Okay, so I'm gonna put the tank over here. So I'm gonna say the recommended way round is actually this way round. Or, I mean, I guess you can go whatever way around you like. It's not like it's really an issue. And I want to make this kind of circular. Like a peanut. I kind of want this to be a bit more like that. There we go. And I want it to be relatively shallow. Like, can I raise the tank for you? No? Why is that not working? Huh. I guess that is as shallow as it goes. What if I pull this right way up? No? I don't know why that's happening. Usually it lets you... Let's make this not a tank. Usually it lets you raise it like right the way to the top if you have the high enough high enough base. That's what I'm looking for. Let's make a tiny one and just test that right quick. Okay, that it's working there. So I don't know what happened to that one. Maybe it's the shape of it doesn't like. Maybe they don't like shape. Okay, I have an idea in my head now of what I want the tank to look like, so that's helpful. That's definitely handy. Okay. It's gonna be round like this. And I do want it right the way up. And I want it quite low down as well. Or is that too shallow? I think that's gonna be too shallow. So I'm gonna lower it just a wee bit. And a wee bit more. I basically want it to be low enough that it doesn't do that. It doesn't do that horrible kind of there you go. How does that look? Right, let's get the rocks that I want to do this with. See where I'm going now. I've decided yes, we shall have outdoor. Okay, so I'm gonna replace these tank walls eventually, so I'm not too fussed about this kind of ugly lookingness here. So I want this to kind of come up, there we go, right up high where the rocks are. Which I think means I can actually have this. I do want it like a smidge down. Just so you can look down on them when they swim past. And obviously I will put more than just one fish in each enclosure, or whatever it is. I will try and put them with something that they would, you know, if cohabit with nicely without doing damage to each other. Okay, and there we go. So this makes a nice little rock frame around the enclosure, and I want to put let's use these rocks again just to properly close that up, and then use the usual rock. There we go. Usual stone path just to do this. Here we go, and then get hold of the wooden bar fence. Or should I use the cable fence? That's the high cable, I want the low cable. That's the one. Get my cable fence. And just drag it along there. And there we go, that's what I wanted. This nice kind of viewing area. Do I have any of the viewing canopies? Because they usually look quite nice over areas like this. They usually, can I? No? Well, I potentially don't have any I can actually use yet. So that would explain why I can't see any. Yeah, I don't think I actually have any viewing canopies unlocked yet, which is fine. We'll unlock them soon enough, and then we'll be able to get them moved over. So yeah, I set up that tank for nothing, because you are moving straight in to your new home, Sawfish 1. So that's a tropical coast. That's exactly what that enclosure is. Hopefully we'll unlock the tank like— actually, the sawfish is smaller than I anticipated. Come on, fall in. It's smaller than I thought. I was thinking I was going to see a huge fish in there, but no. No, just a little sawfish. And I do want to use the rocks just to— I think I have to zoom out a bit to see that properly. I am going to also have to make zookeeper areas, as we all know. It's very, very important that I make zookeeper areas so that my zookeepers can pick up all the equipment they need for their various duties around the zoo. And I'm just using these rocks to make kind of a natural background. It's gonna look a bit clunky, but bear with for just a minute. Right, so that's that. I'll go ahead and use a different rock type. Maybe that looks a bit gross. I think that looks a bit gross. But I do want to use these in the tank itself because they poke out and I think that looks quite nice. I'll have one that doesn't quite poke out as well. Let's put it more here. There we go. So in terms of actual plants, I don't think we have enough corals unlocked to be able to make this look really nice. So I'm gonna leave it for the time being. What I will do is I'm gonna put the food over here so guests can't really see it. They can if they kind of come around here and peek, but generally speaking, you can't really see this big pile of shellfish here. So I'm gonna actually go ahead and hire another zookeeper, because we have the zookeeper that's responsible for all of these and she's gonna stay responsible for all of these, and then we need zookeepers actually responsible for the tanks. So let's think, what important things are we going to need before we get proper into it? We're going to need donation boxes, and I definitely want to use the pirate themed tiers. I love using themed stuff. I think themed stuff really adds a bit of character to your parks. Cool, so I think with that we can actually open up yeah, and we'll see how it goes. I need to wait for a new challenge, I think. And I don't know, maybe I should adopt one animal for every episode I do. Maybe that would be fun. I wonder if people are actually going to start coming in. Because sometimes this messes up and doesn't quite work. There we go. There we go, I just needed to put that down. No. No. Can you imagine? It's incredibly desert themed and you walk in, it's like actually a marine park. So I think one rescue per episode sounds fair, so it doesn't necessarily mean we build it a tank straight away, or an enclosure or whatever we have to do. It literally just means that it's going to go in our rescue center. Unless it's a non-marine animal, in which case it doesn't go in our rescue center, it instantly goes into an enclosure that we have to build for it. Because, as you know, I'm actually going to get rid of this floor. I think what I'll do is, because I need it right at the front, because that's what's supporting... Oh, I think I need it all around the edges as well. So I need to... I think what I actually need to do is replace them with panels. I need to use these instead. And then replace all of these with the invisible elevated path. I think that's what I need to do. Oh, I need them here as well. It's going to be a completely different type of path, but what can you do? It's just what I got. Oh, is that? Oh, it's that one there. Okay, well, we'll see if we can raise more than 1,500 in donations. That's something we can try and do. Oh, I can't really do it in these places. That messes up my thingies. Okay, I think in that case that means I actually need to have these kind of fences rather than glass there. I think that's the only way I can have the... You know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's the only way I can have the slants. That's what I want to say. So it looks like people are making a straight beeline for the sawfish, which is great, which is fantastic. We will definitely be needing some donations towards looking after this sawfish. And something I do want to do So if I go into my temperate coasts, I want to put just like a little bit of foliage out front of the enclosure. There we go. So we'll just kind of keep progressing like this. Maybe I just shouldn't focus like oh so much on, I know, on layout, and more so on just doing what I set out to do, which is a rescue challenge, and randomly selecting an animal that I want. Or I say an animal that I want, an animal that we're going to rescue from the reef or the surrounding area. And then, yeah, once we've rescued them, we'll build an enclosure for them. I think that should just be my focus. I won't worry too much about making it absolutely stunning and gorgeous, as much as I wish I could just sit and design the zoo all the time. You know, I'll do what I set out to do. I'm wondering, okay, oh, I like the idea of doing this. Can I get the dark blue one, please? Oh, and then making it the same height as the border. Oh yeah, I like that. Like if I could just, I kind of want it so the water is the same level as the barrier. I think that looks nicer. Yeah. Hopefully when we can replace it with a different kind of glass. Because I think this, yeah, that's gonna look bad. That's okay. That I can deal with. What I would prefer for it to be, you know, just a clear straight piece of glass, just a regular old acrylic. I don't need any of this fancy decorations or anything. So I'm wondering, like, people who've just seen the sawfish, I doubt they're gonna really want to go anywhere else. We haven't earned any donations towards the sawfish yet. Okay, yeah, so I don't know, because I really want the manta rays, now that I think about it, I really want them to star in a big tank. But I don't want to build a big tank straight away. I feel like that's silly. It's a silly thing to do, so I guess I'll leave Snap, Crackle and Pop in here for just a little while. And then maybe when we get some other animals that want to go in a bigger tank, maybe we'll get a collection of them. Something like that, something like that. And hopefully we get a new sawfish soon to live with our female, and hopefully we get the tank lights soon so I can decorate this up a little bit more. I've got all kinds of things that I can do to make the enclosure better in the future as well. We could see what other kind of animals could go in there, just all sorts. We have a full list of like 27 different animals that can go in our park, so I'm sure somewhere along the line we'll find something. And you know, that list could always grow. I could always go ahead and get some more different mods or some animals that I thought, maybe that's not something we should do. Maybe I'll actually decide to add those in. I don't know. I think I should actually wrap it up there because there's not very much else we can do today without going ahead and doing the roulette again. And I want to keep it to 1 roulette per episode. I don't want to get too excited about that. I kind of want to keep this simple. I'm going to keep it limited to, you know, one episode a week, 1 animal a week, and that's what we're doing. That's how it's going to be. So as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you come back for the next episode of this series in the future, and I will see you here for that. Bye bye.